I mean, today we like we said last night, we did we had an MRI taken on him and um, ran it through two doctors just to have a second opinion as well, um, and both doctors had the same prognosis from the imaging. So um, it just shows as a normal shoulder that a pitcher would have, and just no concern. Nothing like we believed last night after he was initially seen by our trainers here. So today, just from our medical experts, our doctors that we trust, that's what we got. So the approach now is he went out and played cash. Yeah, I believe he already did it, and but the approach still we're just gonna take it day by day and just see how things are gonna be um, at this point. So today we're not thinking of an IL stint or like to do anything. So we're just gonna go day by day. He's gonna play cash and see how he feels, and we're gonna keep paying attention to it.
So you say that right now you're not thinking about an IL stint. In your mind, is it feasible that he might start again in 5 days?
I can't say that right now. The day by day approach is just I can't say that. He is gonna do his in between start routine, which is the playing cash after he throws like he did today. Um, but we still day by day. I mean, we wanna make sure that everything's fine. I mean, we've already gone through different things because this is not the same thing. It's been three different things. So we want to pay attention to this thing now and on a day by day approach. So that's what we're gonna do. Our medical staff here, our trainers, they're all over it, and Jake as well. He's in it. So we trust everyone, including Jake. On how he feels, and also the results and the prognosis that we had from both doctors earlier today.
Ken Davidoff, you're up.
Hey, Louis. What would be the downside of just shutting him down even for a week and putting him on the injury list?
I mean, well, that's just not the approach right now. We don't feel immediately that's what we're gonna do. I mean, like I told you, the imaging just gave us back that is a normal shoulder from a pitcher. Nothing else happening. So I don't see how it would change today, just doing the IL stint and then being different, because it's going to be a normal shoulder, after 10 days or so. It's we just want to approach this day by day. That's my take right now. I'm less concerned or happy that he's throwing today. He's playing cash. He's doing his in between start normal routine, but we're still going to approach it this way, just to be, of course, cautious with Jake. I thought it was the right thing for him to talk at the moment yesterday. And like I said, the three things that he's had, it's been three things. They're not related. They're not connected. It's been three different things. We don't know what caused it specifically, like where we can tell you specifically, like it happened right here, right now. But all we know is that they're not connected. Not one thing's not leading to the other.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, look, I don't have the imaging. I wouldn't know what to do with it if I had it. It's just you talk about it, even if it is two separate things. I mean, flexor tendonitis and a sore shoulder. Most of the time, either of those would put a pitcher on the injured list. And given where we are in the schedule, given you have a nice lead in the division, you have a depth in your starting rotation. I hope you can understand why it's just a little
I do.
confusing. Why just not just play it safe?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Ken. Yeah, and if these things were related, then yes, I think that would be the approach that we take, but they're not. This is an isolated thing from the tight forearm or the flexor tendonitis that he had. This is something that happened yesterday, and he felt yesterday, and we checked him after the game. We checked him today, and everything's just normal. He's playing playing catch today, and it feels pretty good. So he's gonna do his in between start routine, but we're approaching it day by day.
Thank you, Louis.
Your next question is from Anthony DiComo.
Hey, Louis. I apologize if this is going down kind of the same vein that Ken was asking, but you kind of said two separate things in that A, you don't know what's causing this, but B, you're comfortable with him just kind of proceeding and going forward. How do those two things align in your mind as you proceed here?
Well, just because you guys saw how he was throwing the ball, like at the rate that he was throwing the ball, right? And so there's no evidence that the velo was decreasing or any other symptoms that will lead to some area of concern. And I mean, this is just coming from me, but also going to our medical expert the 3 times and knowing that these things are not related, like these things are not connected. So, I think, our performance staff does a good job and things like this. I think Jake has done a good job just by telling us what he's felt the different times and just being cautious. And this is another one. It happened yesterday throughout the game. We don't know exactly when he was and when he felt it. He doesn't quite know as well. He just felt the throwing, and he said that he'd rather be cautious here and once again and not keep going. So we're just in this approach. I mean, like I said, just getting the results from the imaging and getting the prognosis from our medical experts, like we feel at this point that there will be no different. Like, going on the IL thin, he'll have the same result from the MRI, and we'll probably feel the same way he'll feel today. Like today's playing catch again.
You've talked about leaning on Jake and relying on his honesty. To what extent did he play a role in this decision versus you guys making this decision independently of whatever he was saying?
No, he's part of it. I mean, every player is part of the decision. I mean, it doesn't mean that he's overruling the medical experts. I mean, that's for me where the biggest weight is our medical expert giving us that their prognosis, what they're seeing in the imaging, which is something like Ken just mentioned. Like I don't know, and so I think everyone just meets and talks and yes, the player's in the middle of it. So I think we're all in it, taking this approach right now and just not going today, at least today, with the decision of going, in taking him into the IL. So we're just going to this day by day approach.
Thank you.
Tim Healy, you're up.
Jacob said that he only felt this in the 3rd inning after feeling totally fine in the first 2. Did it happen during his at-bat?
It could be. I mean, there's different things that you can think where this might happen. It could be during his at-bat. It could be maybe one pitch that he felt it could be anywhere. And I think we had the same conversation when he had the lat that was eventually his lower back as well, that it could have been in one of his at bat, in one of the swings. But we'll whatever it is that led to it, I'm just glad that he came forward and said it, and all 3 times hasn't been anything major, and at this time in this one we know now that it's nothing major. Just getting the results and talking to our experts. So we just got to take this the right way. We feel that this is the right way, with everybody being on the same page. And day by day, let's see how he does, and let's see the feedback from him. And we'll keep talking to our doctors, and we have our trainers here who are really good. What they do.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Howie Rose.
Hi, Louis. Even though fully acknowledging that the doctors say that this is the product of several separate, completely different situations. It's happened in a relatively short amount of time. I mean, this is really 4 different things in the last 6 or 7 weeks. And although they say that's good, that they're all different, do you have any concerns that his body might be trying to tell him something, that all these little brush fires in such a short amount of time might be indicative of something that at the very least could be a concern long-term?
Yeah, well, first of all, like the doctors didn't say today that these were 3 separate things, but we all know that these are 3 separate things. Just from checking in individually, none of the other led to this one, and it's once again, I don't. Jake is turning 33 Saturday, and he's been pitching in this league now for a couple of years, and his shoulder showed today that it's a normal pitching shoulder. So there's nothing else going on in his body, I think, rather than what he felt last night. And we went and checked it this morning, and then had the 2 medical experts to give us their prognosis, and this is what we got, Howie. So it's right now, from doing all that and talking to the player too, like you balance everything. It's like right now we're just gonna take this day by day approach. That's the way we're doing it, and that's the way we're gonna find out more about it, and we'll probably have more clarity, peace of mind on how we're gonna move forward with him.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Disha.
Hey, Luis. What difference have you seen from Jake, if any, in terms of his reluctance on going on the IL this time compared to last month? So is he sort of more open or less open to it this time than he was the last time around?
So yeah, he's less open this time. That time, the first time, Disha, he felt that his mechanics were out of whack, and he did want to test that lower back area, and see how he was landing, separating, everything. So I think we did the IL stint because he wanted to go through his in between start routine at least twice, just to check on those mechanics and compare them to how he's done them in the past, because that he believed that he was doing something that was causing the tightness there. So in this one, he feels right after the game. I mean, throughout the game, he felt the soreness, but then they did the test and everything, and his feedback was positive. He was frustrated, but not highly concerned. So were our trainers, and then today when we got the encouraging news, they're good news that that it's a normal shoulder that comes from the we get out of the imaging prognosis, out of the 2 different opinions. So he feels right now that this is something that he doesn't need to go on the IL, and he wants to go day by day, taking the same approach that we want to take as well, just monitoring, talking, getting treatment, and we'll go from there. But today is, we don't feel like he's an IL, and he doesn't feel like he's an IL stint.
So this is a pain that he only feels when he's pitching, right? Like even if he's throwing a bullpen or something, it wouldn't really pop up. It would only pop up kind of in game.
No, he just felt it last night in the 3rd inning. I mean, he never felt anything like this before, shoulder wise. So yeah, I'm glad that he felt it in that inning, and he came and he said to us that what he felt, and we were like, okay, that's it, and he was agreeing to it too.
Got it. Thank you.
Your next question is from Wayne Randazzo.
Hey, Louis, do you think that this is in some way related to just an overall rejection from his body of the extremely high volume of high velocity pitches that he throws?
It could be. There's a lot of studying, from a medical standpoint in this game about high velo. There's a correlation there, high velo and some stress, right, and sorenesses and high injury risk, right, And our medical group here is actually they've done a lot of presentations in the past to us as a coaching staff and everyone else here as well, I think. It could be, this is something that, we can talk about, we can monitor. But, like I said, that's, right now we have MRI results. We have, experts around it. We have our guys that are very aware of, what the data shows of guys throwing at a high velo repeatedly. Even, Jake is the one that does it at the highest rate, right? So, they'll know how to approach it. And knowing Jake for years now, they'll know how to approach Jake. So, we'll see what it is. I mean, we're taking the approach today is actually encouraging that he's playing cash. So the treatment that they do today, the treatment that they do tomorrow, like all the steps that we take towards keeping Jake healthy, I'm pretty sure they're the best at that.
If there is a possibility that swinging the bat has caused some of this stuff, would you like to see him maybe not swing the bat so much and maybe take it easy on his at-bats in the future? Could be,
Wayne. It could well be. So we can also check on that and see what we can do when Jake is at the plate. And, take an approach. We've taken approaches with some pitchers already, right, that or feeling some tightness, and we didn't want him to probably move some parts of their bodies, when it comes down to swinging mechanics, and they just sat you there for a couple of at bats, and because we only wanted them pitching, right, and we didn't want anything like that to compromise their health. So it's something that we can do if it's the thing getting in the way as well. So, but we gotta check. We gotta see, day by day. I think we're gonna find out why this happened and what approach we can take when Jake gets the ball again, which is uncertain now. But at this point, we just, today he play cash, and then we'll see what tomorrow brings for him. And but he's doing it once again. He's doing it like his in between start routine, but the uncertainty on when he gets the ball again, when he starts, like it's real. Like we don't know when he's gonna make his next start.
Thank you.
Ron Blum, you're up.
Hi, Luis. When you said two doctors looked at it, who were the two doctors? Was it Allcheck and who was the other?
Yeah, it's Allcheck, and then the other one was Sen. I can't remember his last name now. I'm sorry. But I know it's across the nation, our second doctor, and it took a couple hours before he got the imaging, and we got his prognosis as well, which was the same as Dr. Allcheck. So.
And did Jake go to HSS for the MRI today?
I believe so. Yes, he went this morning.
Thank you.
He went this morning.
Thank you.
Gary Cohn, you're up.
Louis, I just want to clarify something. You've said several times that the three injuries were unrelated. Now, you know that through baseball history, there's been a lot of pitchers who have had an injury and have created another injury compensating for the first injury. So whose word is it that has not happened here, that compensating for the lat, he might have hurt the flexor, and compensating for the flexor, he might have hurt the shoulder? Is that the doctors? Is that Jake himself? Who has made that determination?
No, it's our trainers. It's our medical staff here. Just treating him, and of course, after what we've done with the imaging, because we've done imaging, right, each time, and treating him, they know they're not related. And, Jake, after he's told, like, he feels that they're not related as well. So it comes from there. That's where it starts. It's just not Jake telling us, like, oh, they're not related, and we're just going out of point blank like that. I think they go off the result that they got in from the imaging, and then their expertise treating him and triggering the points, that they need to trigger to, to treat him, to rehab him, or get him back into being healthy and not feel the things that he's felt. So, it's been coming from our medical experts, and then obviously letting Jake know that they're not, and he agrees, because they're not.
And is it safe to say that I'm sure this has happened, that Jeremy and the sports performance staff and everybody has been looking at all the video to make sure that he hasn't changed anything to compensate for one injury that might have tweaked another?
Yes. Jeremy's been on it since the first time that he had the lower back tightness, and because of that, that's when him and Jake worked closely, and the performance that was in the middle of it too. Just looking at the video and looking what he was doing and what was causing that tightness, and they did it the second time, and I'm sure they're gonna do it now. But I don't think they'll be any different. I think the first time they cut something, and that's why he threw a full side, and then he went in through the 3 innings in our low A affiliate. But in this one, I don't think there's a lot of difference. But I'm sure they're gonna look at it. So maybe for respect to him, we'll let him look at video and stuff and see if they can find anything. But the day-to-day approach and talking to him, I think, is right now the safe approach that we're taking for Jake.
Thank you, Louis.
We'll finish off today with Andy Martino.
I had the same question as Gary about the injuries being related, but is the second look that you got at the imaging today, Louis, is that the second opinion? There's no more second opinions?
No,
like he's not visiting another doctor?
No, yeah, that's the second opinion. Yeah. The MRI here, which is an advanced place, right, in HSS, we got it, and we got the prognosis from our closest doctor here, and then another doctor that we trust a lot, of course, an expert. We send it to him, and we were waiting for his feedback, because I believe this doctor is across the nation. So he got the imaging, and he gave the same prognosis as our doctor here.
So this process is over for right now, evaluating and concluding. You've had all the opinions.
As far as the MRI, yeah. I mean, from getting the report, we feel that if it's done again, it's going to be the same result. It's going to be the same prognosis. So, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Luis, thank you very much for your time.
All right. Thanks, Zach. See you guys.
Members of the media, this concludes today's pregame Zoom. We'll see everybody after the game.